Hello.
Hi guys,
Hi.
and welcome back to us here in sunny Bulgaria.
Roasting Bulgaria.
Tis a touch, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. As always, we want to thank you for following us, for commenting, for liking,
For sticking with us.
subscribing,
Yeah.
for sticking with us. Yeah. We still think you're mad, don't we?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
But
we know we're mad, so anybody watching us has got to be.
But we really appreciate it. We really appreciate you supporting our journey. So
Yeah.
thank you, and especially thank you to our family and our friends who seem to really appreciate that we.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually.
We
'cause
are
obviously the point of doing this in the first place was for our friends and our family, obviously, to keep up with what we're doing here, because obviously a lot of them haven't been out here. The majority of them haven't been out here, so they don't know what it's like here. Obviously our grandchildren have no idea what it's like out here. So that's what we originally wanted to do. The fact that we've got over 1,000 subscribers is just bonkers. We don't know where you've all come from, but thank you so much for appreciating it. But we were talking recently to some of our relatives, etc., and one of the things that's come up is this, and the way that we do it is that they're saying that it's just like they watch it on the TV or whatever, and it's just like having us in the lounge, so to speak, having a coffee at one of our visits. So it's really nice that if it's coming across like that, then that's
we're happy
that's
about
really,
that.
really cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
So we're really
so although
pleased,
we can't see you and what you're doing, obviously you can keep up with what we're doing, and we really, really like that you can do that. So.
Yeah. But one thing we have managed to achieve this week has been quite
Positive.
cool, I think.
Yeah,
it was,
really
it was good the way it happened.
Surprisingly good.
It's partly to do with that thing that we've said before about knowing some of the language and things like that. And trying. And when you go to municipalities and things like that and try to do stuff official, that can sometimes be quite difficult, especially if they don't speak English. We needed to do another thing at CAT this week, which was basically to change the address for me.
Yes, in
won.
a couple of weeks ago, the Talon. I won that argument. The Talon was went and renewed the ownership of the car, so you get a new Talon.
My address was on it wrong. Nikki's was right, mine was wrong. So everything else was done.
Village.
So we needed to change the address.
So I did ask in the comments about whether we should change it, because I was concerned that something will go to our old property, which obviously we don't live in when there's new people living there, for Darren. To do with municipality taxes, because the car tax seems to be included in that. I've seen on other people's vlogs and posts, there's some kind of car tax that's included in that. So I emailed her anyway, and they came back to me after a couple of days and said, yes, bring in both documents, the big Talon and the little Talon, and they'll correct them.
So we did.
But we were there for another reason.
But our main reason to be there was to change our driver's licences from English to Bulgarian, because we do have to do it. I think you have 6 months to do it.
6 months to change it.
So
obviously,
we might as well get it done now.
You're supposed to, when you first live here, when you first register here, you're supposed to do it within 6 months. Obviously, we lived here back in 2006, and I think we had a year back then to change it. But we did change it anyway. We changed our Bulgarian licences for English. But then when we went back to the UK, we had to change them back to UK licences. Yeah. So now we're having to do the same again.
We walked up to the counter. The girl didn't speak any English. Basically told her what we needed to do, showed her our licences, etc.
And what I think made it easier also is I had the little blue. When you change your licence for a Bulgarian licence, you get a blue card, which is your points. So you start off with 30 points. And then if you get a speeding fine or some kind of fine for something, it comes off your points until you get down to 0, and then I guess you lose your licence. So we still had those. So I gave her that as well. Which
she had everything. She had everything, didn't she? So, but she didn't speak any English.
No.
Or tiny little bit. But she was extremely helpful. Because patient. We asked her if we could take the paperwork with us and get it filled in, because we knew we had to see a doctor to get some doctor stuff done to prove that you're fit to drive, etc., which is fine. And we'd arranged that.
Yeah.
Because we thought we'd arranged that. I'll come back to that in a minute. So then we So the girl basically helped us fill the form in. She told us what to write, in what line to write it, etc., and we managed to get it done. So the only thing we need
And
to
we
do
had
now
to write it in Cyrillic.
in Cyrillic, yeah. So she was literally writing down everything on a piece of paper to right, that's what
And
you're going
we
to do.
copied
Write
it.
your name down here, write this address, this is where you put this is where you put that, and that's what we did. Managed to get all that done, and then she's asked us to go back before Friday with the doctor's paperwork. So that's what we said. We said, great, we'll be back this afternoon.
Yeah, because we already had
because we were already going to see the doctor, so we thought
we
this
had
would
an
be good, wouldn't it?
appointment with my glaucoma doctor because I had a 1 month checkup because my eye pressure was high last month. So I've been on another set of drops in the morning now. So I have drops in the evening and the morning. And anyway, I went back, got checked, and it's lower. He's happy with that.
So you'd heard that there was an English-speaking doctor in Chirpan, hadn't
Yes.
you?
Well, I've researched
But-
before we moved here. Yeah.
but we also knew, obviously, there's a doctor in our village. So we decided that we would come back, try and see the doctor in the village, and hope and pray that somehow with our broken Bulgarian and the form that we had the form with us, so obviously it was obvious what we were trying to do, that hopefully we'd be able to get it done. So we spoke to our neighbours, they told us where the doctor's was, told us get there early because there'll be a big queue. There was this morning.
Oh, was there?
There wasn't such a big queue yesterday morning, and we were first in it.
Wow.
Because we
Yes,
got
we
there.
got there about 20
to
to
8,
8.
it doesn't open
She
till
starts
8.
at 8. Yeah.
She comes in from Chirpan,
Yes.
which did make me wonder, is she the doctor in Chirpan that
No,
speaks
because
English?
it's a man. No, it's a
So there's
man.
another one.
And could I just say, typical doctors from our experience of living here before, where the door's left open, so everyone can hear your business.
Yeah, well, we understand why the door's left open. Boiling everywhere,
What I
isn't
want
it?
to know is if you were lying on that couch being examined down below.
I think she'd shut the door then. Okay,
I wouldn't be at all surprised
she
if
would
she
shut the
wouldn't.
door then. The problem you've got is they don't lock the door.
No,
And quite
I know.
often people when
People
you're in with a
just barge
doctor, someone
in.
just knocks and
Yes.
opens.
That is a warning for you, yes. I mean, I've been
Dignity
on the table with
out
my
the
legs
window.
akimbo and somebody's walked in, thankfully facing the other way towards the office block where there's loads of office workers and no curtains.
So we went to the doctor. We started talking to the doctor, and she asked us something in English. Like she asked us where we were from, or where do we live now, or something like that. So, again, speaking in Bulgarian, we were saying that we live in this village now. But that she lived in the UK about 20 years ago, and her English is actually very good. However, what we really, really liked, and we kind of wish more people did this with us, is because it can be made so easy for you. If people speak English to you, then obviously you don't need to speak Bulgarian back because you can speak English. But what she did is she actually kept continuing to talk to us as much as possible in Bulgarian, used a little bit of Google Translate when necessary. She would literally just say, translate. And then she'd say a sentence, and then we'd better go, right, okay, ta-da. But most of the conversation
She
was done in
forcing us to
Bulgarian.
speak Bulgarian,
yeah, exactly. And she was
which I
telling
think
us
was great.
if we were saying it wrong, she was saying, no, you would say it like this. She lived in Birmingham, and
She lived in Birmingham, yeah.
she's probably used to weird accents.
Yeah, yeah. But she was so helpful.
that's like
Anyway,
English,
the best
but
bit
not the
about
same.
it is she asked, would you like me to register you
Yes.
as my patients?
Yep.
So, of course,
So we
jumped at
registered
it.
for a doctor at the same time. So
Yeah.
we now got a doctor. In our village, we have an English-speaking doctor,
Yeah.
which is absolutely fantastic because
Who makes us speak
health is
Bulgarian,
obviously
so that's
a major issue.
Yeah.
If you've got something wrong, you need to get it right when you're talking to someone, not talking to a doctor to say what the feelings are. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong diagnosis. So the fact that she's an English-speaking doctor means we don't need to take somebody else with us is a major, major bonus. The last time we had a doctor, he was in Sliven, which for us was a bit of a drive out,
Yeah.
but he was a really good doctor
And he
again.
spoke
But
English,
but
yeah.
mainly because that was the reason he spoke English.
The good thing about him is he was like in a polyclinic, so any tests we had to do, like ECG, blood tests, X-rays and all that, you just went up and down all the different floors and you got all your test results the same
But it's
day.
supposed to be a good place in Chirpan, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not very
yeah,
far,
and I'm
so-
guessing she's
so we'll see,
connected
yeah,
to
so
that
we'll
as
see
well.
what happens there.
She
Our
only
neighbour
works
said
half-
that she sent him to Chirpan for tests.
Yeah,
and
because she
things.
only works here half days as well. So.
But really, really lovely lady. We're registered with the doctor, got the documents sorted. So tomorrow, I'm going back into Stara Zagora. I'm going to hand those documents over, and then we've got a month and we get
We collect our Bulgarian
replacement licenses again, don't we?
The driving license exchange cost 11 lever each.
Okay, we have now been here for
3 months.
Ta-da!
Yay! It's our
3-month anniversary.
Bulgaria anniversary.
Woohoo!
Isn't it?
So the main thing we really wanted to talk about, that took a bit longer to talk about than I expected, was adapting to Bulgaria, to life in Bulgaria. What's it like? Now, you get to see a lot of the majority of the pros, really, are the good bits. But I think...
Well, I think the thing is, we're not going to come on here and just moan.
Oh, of course we're not.
But we do think it's important that you know both sides.
Absolutely.
Don't we?
Absolutely. Yeah, because if anybody decided they wanted to move out here and suddenly found, oh my God, it's roasting, or there's this or there's that, we never said that, it's a little unfair.
Yeah.
You do have to adapt, and adapting to life here isn't as easy as you would think.
No.
To the extent that we are technically retired. Yeah?
Yes.
So we can get up and do what we want, whenever we want, and what have you. And I know there's a lot of Bulgarians out here, a lot of English out here, or Brits or whatever, who live out here and live in that same sort of way. You can get up when you want, do what you want, whatever you want, etc., can't you? No problems at all. But the reality of that is actually a little bit different, because when you've come from, say, for sake of argument with me and Nikki, we worked retail or office, that's what we've always done. So you're used to working 9 to 5, 5 days a week. On the days off, you get to do the bits that need doing. So you're usually pretty busy on those days, because you've got
you get to go out if it's a rare sunny day.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But generally speaking, if you've got that day off, if something needs doing, it's got to be done. That's the way it is. That's normal life. Now here, we don't have that same thing, so we don't have that same structure, and sometimes that can actually be quite difficult, because what happens is that you think to yourself that you should be doing something. There's that mentality of I'm going to work, I should be doing this, and you've always got something to do at work, you're busy all the time, and you feel like you should be doing the same here. So when you sort of if you go on my bike, or Nikki goes for a run in the morning, by 10 o'clock you're sat there having your breakfast. By 11 o'clock you're still not actually finished. Finished catching up with a bit of Facebook or whatever, and then you start to think, I've let the day go, and I feel you start to feel bad about it. What am I going to do? I need to do this, I need to do that. It takes a while, and it's taken us
3 months.
3 months,
really
to sort of this last week. I think we've sort of said
you have to basically accept that you are going to have to slow down, especially in the heat. You are going to have to.
The jobs will still be there tomorrow, won't they?
Yeah, the jobs are still going to be there. You can't think about the finish line. You have to think about what can I do today, physically do today, depending on the weather.
Yeah, do I want to do anything today?
And that's the other problem is, when you're not forcibly getting up and having to do these things, you can choose not to. And the problem is it's very easy to choose not to do them, isn't it? Because there's no pressure on you.
Yeah, we don't tend to. We do tend to still try and get up in the morning, a reasonable time, and get ourselves ready, either a bit of exercise or whatever. I'd like to get up at 6 in the morning when it's cooler, because I think we possibly need to adjust our times, because that's one of the other things at the moment, and this is why it affects what you do. It's not like getting up in the UK, and I know in the UK they're having good weather at the moment, but let's face it, that isn't the norm. No. So normally you can get up, and you certainly can't say, it's usually not too hot to go and do something. Here it is.
It is really hot.
Nikki's doing painting at the moment, and even that can't be done because
you can't paint because it just
comes
dries
out of the tin
straight away
and dries by the time it's hit the wall.
Yeah, you cannot physically paint.
So it's just there's a lot of jobs like that you can't do, just simply because it is that hot. We both have to accept that it's too hot.
It is too hot.
It is far, far too hot. We are talking, when I say it's too hot, I'm talking about the temperatures in my garage, in my workshop yesterday. The temperature was at one point 41.8 degrees in my workshop. Now, that's too hot to work in.
The humidity was 16.
16%.
Yeah.
16%
So it's very
humidity.
dry
So it's very dry,
heat.
which is what we've always said here.
Yeah.
It's a very dry heat. It's a completely different heat to the UK. That's why, if it's in the early 30s, it's nice.
You can go, yeah, exactly. We're
Whereas
going. Temps are going down tomorrow,
early 30s
and I'm
in the
looking forward to
early
like
30s in the
34.
UK, you'd be crawling around the floor because it's just so humid and it's a different heavy sort of heavy heat, isn't it? Whereas here, yeah, it can get up to sort of 36. You're not too bad, but when it starts getting beyond that, it becomes just too much.
Can I also say that I personally miss the structure of getting up, having a run, going to work. I definitely miss the routine, and I miss working as well. You know, I like to have a little job to keep my mind occupied. You don't miss having a job, do you? Or do you?
No.
You did have to think about it then.
No, I don't think I do. I mean,
Do you
yes,
miss the
there's
camaraderie?
there's that, that interaction. Funny enough, was the next thing I was going to go on to, because one of the other things you have, or certainly we have, is that we don't really see very many people.
No, we don't.
We don't see very many people at all. We spend the majority of our time, apart from when we go to do shopping and do municipality things or whatever, which we've had to do with the car and just with living. But obviously now that stuff's done, there'll be even less of that to do, which means less of seeing other people. So we see our neighbours when we go for a walk and things, but generally speaking, it means that we're pretty much
It's just
us
together. So yeah,
which can be pretty tough.
That can be hard. And I mean, joking aside, because I know probably you would make a joke, but you have to have a really strong relationship, I think, to make such a big move as this, because it does require a lot of give and take. It's very easy to take each other for granted.
Yep.
And you do.
I think things like making an effort. I think that's again part of the thing about not having a job to go to is making an effort when you get up in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the few times I've been on here unshaven.
Oh yeah.
I mean, part of that is because obviously we've got an outdoor shower and no proper hot water in the house.
But some days we don't even remember whether we brushed our teeth.
No, I know. Time just sort of goes along, doesn't it? And you suddenly think to yourself, did I wash this morning?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just kind of.
It can be hard on relationships.
It can. I think
And over the years, when we actually lived here, we did see quite a lot of relationships break up, didn't we?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a. If you've got problems with your relationship, you think coming here is going to help you. I don't think that's.
I don't know whether it will.
I don't think it'll do it. No. Because you rely on each other a heck of a lot more.
Yeah.
Well,
I rely on you.
And I think now that we're getting old, I think it's even more so. There's a lot of things Nikki can't do at the moment. She hasn't got the strength anymore.
Well, I'm not going to get the strength back.
Unscrewing a screw.
Yeah. So then, because it's so hard, getting a strop.
I heard her this morning getting a strop about it.
Don't expect to wake up every day and think, oh, it's wonderful, it's lovely, and all the rest of it, because you won't. Some days you are going to wake up and you, for some reason, you'll be in a negative frame of mind. I don't know what it is, but you might have a negative frame of mind. You might just wake up and think, what am I doing here? You may think that. I have. And then I have to say to myself, I'm retired. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to think about the fact that I haven't got a job and I was saying about waking up in a negative mood for absolutely no reason at all. You may wake up like this. Not even down to a bad night. You could have had a really good night.
I just call it feeling flat.
Feeling flat, yeah, definitely is a good description. So, I woke up feeling flat, as Darren put it, but I didn't want to let it ruin the whole day, like get me down, and started to do a little job, and I think it was getting the pool area. I wanted to level out the pool area, wasn't it? Yeah, which Darren didn't want me to do. Because he said he didn't think it was necessary, but I got it into my head that I wanted to do it either way, and there'd been a bit of rain, so I thought I'm going to do it. So I got on with it, and then Darren got up, and I was kind of waiting for him to give me a hand because I wanted to use the spirit level to check that it was all level, and I needed Darren to help me because I rely on him for so much now. But he didn't want to help me because he had a job that he wanted to do, and obviously he wasn't too happy that I decided to do this other job. So we snapped. I snapped. He snapped. Blah blah blah. And there were a few tears from Darren. Obviously, I consoled him. Yeah. No, from me. And thankfully, and this is where it's really important to try and do this. Thankfully, Darren didn't get irate with me. He just gave me a cuddle, didn't you? Said that he was worried about me, and we tried to discuss, and that's the important thing. You do need to talk a lot. You do need to discuss lots of options. And as I said to Darren, we both want the same goal, the same end goal, but we both have different ways of reaching it. So in his mind, he's got a certain way of doing something, and in my mind, I've got a certain way of doing something.
Yeah, I think it's called the right way and the wrong way.
No, and that's the other thing I'd pointed out to Darren, is when Darren was working, he had lots of volunteers and he could boss people around.
I wasn't like that. I wasn't bossy.
He wasn't
never
bossy.
been a bossy boss.
Well, we'll let them speak for themselves if they want to comment. But no, I know Darren's a good boss, and I know he knows how to get the best out of people and how to organise people. But I'm also kind of strong-willed, and I think the difference is that when Darren is at work, the volunteers won't question what he's asked them to do. They'll just do it. Whereas I will question, and I don't know.
Give me a volunteer any day.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there are going to be days like that where you're nickety-pickety and you're going to get on each other's nerves completely and utterly, and you just have to just take a deep breath. One of you, I think, as long as one of you can take a deep breath and cool that person, calm that person down, it won't blow up in your face.
Hopefully.
But it is hard work. It's very hard work being together 24/7. When we lived in our first village, see, this is what I expected you to do. When we lived in our first village, there were lots of expats, British expats, so in that village. So we used to do a lot of visiting people back then, because we already had a house that was renovated, part renovated at the time. So we did a lot of visiting friends. Some were friends, eventually they weren't friends, as it happens.
Yeah, that's the other
find
thing,
out
isn't
who
it?
you're
I've
friends with
always
and all
said
the rest
that
of
as well. Just because you're Brits
Yeah.
and you're in the same village doesn't mean you're going to be friends. These are people that possibly in the UK you wouldn't have anything to do with because you've got nothing in common with.
So that is why we don't
Different
actually
interests.
see that many people. And then we have just some close friends, English friends, who are in the UK now. So we don't get to see them anymore. And we miss them, and we miss that friendliness and having the visits with each other and all that sort of thing, you know. And it was like having a support network as such. And that's what we're missing here, I think, is having a support network as such. But we're learning. We're meeting lots of people.
I was going to say, we've been here for 12
in the village.
weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
We've done a lot.
12 weeks,
we've planned a lot. We've arranged a lot. I think in 12 weeks we've done pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah.
And
I think we have achieved a lot.
it's only this last week we've realised that we need to slow the tempo down a bit. It is too hot to be doing too much.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more like a sunflower.
Yeah.
Can I do my impression of a sunflower?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
So sunflowers face the sun, okay? So a sunflower in the morning, this is a sunflower in the morning. Oh, the sun's coming, the sun's coming. Oh, the sun's coming, the sun's coming. Look, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming. Here it comes, here it comes. Oh, the sun is up. Oh, that's fantastic. I love the sun. Oh, look, the sun is up. Oh, it's brilliant. I love the sun. Oh, yeah. By lunchtime, oh, it's a little warm. It's still quite warm. I like the sun. I do like the sun. I definitely like the sun, but it's definitely a little warm now. By tea time, oh, I like the sun, but I'm melting. I'm absolutely melting. That's my impression of a sunflower, and that's me.
Well, that's me too.
I love the sun. I love that it's sunny. I love that it's like that. It's brilliant. Okay, so can I ask you, what do you like most about being here? And what do you dislike most about being here?
What I dislike most about being here is mosquitoes and flies. The good
Anything
thing
else?
is I'm not being affected so much by the bites as I was the last time we lived here, because I used to get great big swellings after the bites, but now I'm not. But when it's hot, the bites will itch, and I don't know if it's the mosquito or the flies, but they will itch a lot in the middle of the night when you're really overheated. And
Yeah, the bites.
that's
I agree,
the thing I
I'll agree.
most hate rather, dislike.
But
That's
it's
the
not
bit I-
just the bites, though, is it? It's
They
like,
just annoy you. They're just there. You
do you
try
wanna
and
go
eat
out-
your food,
but you
and
want to go
they're
out,
there.
out the back for a walk.
Go for a walk, yeah, and
Through
they
the
are
field.
just flying
And
all
you just
on your arm.
you're covered in flies.
and you have to
It's-
wear a hat so they don't
ugh.
attack your head.
and I'm not very good with things like that.
They are
Really
horrible.
not, am I?
Yeah, the flies are just normal flies. They are.
Yeah.
They're not even
Just-
bitey
just
flies, but they
irritating.
are annoying. Yeah. So that's the thing I dislike. I most dislike about Bulgaria. The thing I like most about living here, was that the question? Living here. Is doing what we want whenever we want. I do love that. I love being surprised by thinking that something's going to be difficult when we go to somewhere official to do something, and it's actually really easy and the people were really nice. It makes you feel so positive. And the other thing I really like about living here is the neighbourliness. The people that we see when we go for a walk. I love just going for a walk whenever we want to as well. Going for a walk and we see all our neighbours. And at first when we were saying hello to them in Bulgarian obviously and waving, they're a little bit standoffish. They don't know who we are obviously, and they're like, what are they doing there?
Weird English couple.
Yeah, exactly. But the more you do it, every single day, every night or whatever, the more they get used to you. And then they start smiling, waving, hello, and then eventually some of them will actually talk to you, and that can be a bit tricky, obviously.
Yeah, but we get by.
But at the bottom of our road, there is, I think there's 2 or 3 houses where all of the neighbours and their kids, they all get together and they sit on this bit of grass. It's like a green, like I remember from a kid living on an estate, and you'd have like a green, and all the kids play, and all the parents and the babbas, you know, they all sit together and they talk every single evening, and it's like they're having a little party. And I just love that. I love that feeling of the family get together, the friendliness. It's really nice to see that positive turnaround where first of all you feel like real strangers and everybody's staring at you and wondering what on earth you're doing here.
I think they're still staring at us and wondering what on earth we're doing.
Yeah, they probably are.
We have found this village to be very, very good, haven't we?
So that would be
In
my
fairness.
like probably is the fact that the village is amazing to my mind. It's,
Yeah, we
we've
you know,
been
we
very
talked before
lucky.
about building materials, and obviously now we've had the luck with the doctor. The village is just so tidy. You know, you go to a lot of villages and they
Well,
just
the ones
look scruffy
around
and
are
that-
scruffy,
yeah,
aren't they?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go
The
further
next
on,
one
you'll find
yeah.
it. But with this one, it's all just kept really, really
The
tidy.
mayor of
The
this
flags
village
as you
is
come into the
amazing.
village, it's just really neat and tidy. Everything's just really nice, and the mayor is really nice. And we're seeing the mayor on Saturday.
Yeah,
We
I'll
think.
tell you about that next
We,
week.
we,
yeah.
we think.
Yes,
So-
yeah.
but yeah, you know, we've got lucky. We've got a good group of neighbours around us.
So yeah, that whole feeling of neighbourliness, I guess possibly the negative is missing our family, so you kind of almost feel like you need to, it's not replace that obviously, but somehow...
No, because you can't.
No,
So-
you can't replace your family obviously, but you kind of need to have that contact, human contact with people. So for me it's the quality of life that we've got here. It is hard when you don't have that structure. You do need to be quite strict with yourself and make you do stuff.
It's that feeling-
that is quite a hard thing, I think, living here.
Yeah, it's that thing of having a choice.
Yeah. And you can choose to be lazy, especially when it's
Yeah.
really hot.
But-
and you,
but
and you
coming
might
out-
find yourself nodding off.
But even
That's
coming
the
out here
problem.
was a choice. We were luckier to be in that position where we could choose to do that. But that was our choice. We've come, if we don't work, you know, if I don't end up working for the rescue centre or whatever, it's not the end of the world. We can cope.
No, but I do think the last time
Yeah.
we lived here, we were both working. I worked for Bulgarian real estate. Darren worked for the centre, the rescue centre.
I'm going there tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, he's been going back and volunteering.
I was there last week.
But for me, it was structured. So, and I kind of feel like I need that. And
You're missing something.
Yeah, and even though I can structure myself,
even a little online,
I don't have the discipline.
A little online job
would
probably just sort you out for a couple of hours a day.
Yeah, so I know I have to have to run, have my breakfast, and then I've got to do this job or whatever.
And then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. So the same question back to you. Negative, positive.
Negatives, I'm agreeing with not so much the insect side of things, but certainly for me, I hate the flies. Do my head in. I get that frustration of not knowing the language fully. It can be difficult, but as we found with the doctor yesterday, other things that we've done, I know enough to get by.
And you do get a good feeling when you have a positive interaction, don't you?
Yeah, it can be.
Makes you feel really positive.
Best
thing about living here.
For me, it is that thing of being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. I get up in the morning, and sometimes I had no plan of doing what I ended up doing.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Just something we just got up, we were having breakfast, and we said, oh, we could do a such and such. Okay, I'll crack on with that today then. Other times I procrastinate because I'm not the world's best DIYer, so I just don't really want to get to something because I've never really done it before. But I usually get, if it goes okay, like doing the office wall, etc. I've never done a stud wall before. When it goes okay, you're quite chuffed with it. It's fine. It's not as good as a professional, but it's certainly good enough for what we want.
I think you like having the time to work out jobs and to make things and to learn about how things work.
I'm getting into the woodwork side a little bit. I want a few more woodwork tools, and I want to make stuff with proper joints. But I guess it's the nature for me. I love the nature here. I will end up with a bad neck because I'm either up like this, but there's a lot of stuff down here as well.
Yeah. The garden. You're going to buy probably a property with a big garden, but don't expect to work it all in the first year. You can't. It's impossible. The weeds will kill you, basically, and the heat, of course, will, because they just overtake everything, don't they?
Yeah.
So what we found is we've got a nice little bit in the front, nice little bit of garden, and you can make a nice little bit of garden as well, whether you've got vegetables or flowers or whatever. We've got quite a lot of weeds in ours, and we didn't know what they were all for, but they bring in butterflies, bees, praying mantis, goldfinches. The goldfinches that I asked about a plant a couple of weeks ago, very tall plant. It's called Lycium, we found out, and the goldfinches absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's some kind of herbal thing actually. Yeah. They love it. They're addicted to that. Yes. They're stripping the plant.
And we love.
We've had a couple of little flowers on it.
Yeah, but it's like now
don't
it's like
get
twigs.
much of a chance.
It's like just twigs.
I think they're addicts.
Yeah, I think they are.
The goldfinches are addicted to the lycium because they can't stay away from the bloody thing.
So the little bit of garden we've got, even though it hasn't got tons of flowers, I mean it's got loads of roses, it just brings us so much pleasure, just that little bit. So I've not been so worried about weeding it all out. I've weeded some things, but the big field at the back, which is just, it obviously was used for growing vegetables, and it's got the leftovers of that, and there's lots of trees around the edges, but you just can't tackle it, especially when you've got a house to renovate.
We talked about before about expectations and what you can and can't do. You can't expect to do everything that quickly.
No,
and
you've
sometimes
got to realise
you've
it's
got to
impossible.
sit. And with some of it, as we've done with the garden, is sit back, wait, see what happens, and then plan for next year what I can do for next year, etc.
But don't do too much.
Just
do little things. Just do a little bit, and then have a rest, and then do some more. It's great having lots of land and having a big garden, but the negative is it's such hard work. Especially if you've not ever grown anything in the UK, it is such hard work.
Well, it's like with you, isn't it? You've got this plan to do this big
do all these beds,
do all these beds and everything. And I said,
it's not going to happen.
One, why why would you want that much fruit and veg in your garden? We wouldn't eat that much. And two,
to give away.
It's just too much to cope with,
It is
particularly
too
to
much.
start off with.
Just too much.
You know, when you're learning it and everything else, just simple
Yes.
little
So I
couple
can
of simple
still,
beds. And
as I've said, think big, but start small.
absolutely. So for me, one of the positives is the nature.
Yeah.
I love the nature, the different types of things that we see. Obviously, bee eaters are one of my absolute all-time favourites. That's what got me into all of this. I managed to get a bit of time with Philip last week, which was absolutely just
He's like
fantastic.
a dog.
Yeah, he's just such a character. But the nature is amazing here.
And I think
There's
that's
just so much of it.
the plus side of having a big plot of land. Of course, is you can you're more likely to see nature. So
That's just everywhere.
Just the
It's
insects,
just everywhere.
and, you know, different plants and all the different fruit trees. You know, we have actually just noticed that we've got a pomegranate fruit, just one, as far as I know, just one of those.
So if any more appear.
And every day there is something new will come up in the garden. So yeah, it is lovely having that, I think. We've had a couple of interactions with our mayor, and I would say it's important when you move here to definitely introduce yourself to your mayor, your village mayor, because they're such an important point of contact. So obviously not all mayors are going to be as proactive as ours seems to be. He is extremely proactive. He kind of barges in like a bull and takes over, doesn't he? But, you know, I really like that about him.
Yeah, you contacted him about the well. He's been to have a look at it and he's coming back. So, or the guy who was with him at least is coming back.
Yeah.
So you know, something's being done. Action's been taken. So he's straight on it, which is really good.
But it's important that you do get on with your mayor. I think obviously the worst thing is if you don't get on or he doesn't like foreigners for some reason, he or she, then it could make things a lot harder, I think.
Yeah, we haven't had that. So luckily we've been okay. We usually find the mayor's very nice. So,
I would say to definitely learn some Bulgarian, even if it's the basics, because people do appreciate you trying. If you can just learn a sentence every day or a few words every day, that would help you.
See, I'm of that thinking. When we first came out here, I learned lots of words. I can't remember what I used now, Talk Now or something like that. It was on a disc, if I remember right, back then. And I just learnt lots of words, loads and loads of words, and it just meant that in the right situation, I could pick up some of the words, and you can understand what people are saying because of what you're doing, where you are. That can help. So just lots of words gives you at least a basis to start from, and then you can start working out how you actually say things and ask for things.
And
because
I would
a lot of the
say,
sentences are going to be similar sentences, just changing your words. That's all.
I would say that definitely seems to work for you. Your understanding of Bulgarian is far superior to mine. I am deaf in my left ear, and I do think that plays a big part for my understanding of Bulgarian. Learn lots of words if you can, and I would definitely say that's a good tip. But learn the Cyrillic alphabet, obviously, start off with that. And then you can read so much. You might not necessarily know what any of it means, but you can read it. So that makes it a lot easier. So I would finish off by saying, if you're going to think about moving to Bulgaria, come out here first, and you definitely need to experience both winter and summer, if you can.
Two completely different ends of the spectrum they are as well.
It can be bitter.
It can be bitterly cold.
Hard.
Minus 20.
Yeah.
Just.
To survive the summer here, even though we've not always had a pool, I would say initially when you first come here, you need a pool. I watched one of the other YouTubers this morning discussing the fact that he wants to get a pool. His wife thinks it's a waste of money. I get it, but you just need it. You've got to have some way of cooling off. You're not used to this heat. It can be a killer.
I think all in all, we've had 12 weeks. We've adapted as much as we can where we can. We've made changes where we've needed to. A lot of our plans have changed. That originally we were going to do this, we're going to do that, and then that's changed.
Yes, that's the other thing. Live in your house.
Yeah, absolutely, to get an idea of what it wants. But we're getting there. We are getting there bit by bit now. We've slowed down a little bit from what we were first here, but the lifestyle in general is just far better.
It is better.
That's why we came, was we wanted a different lifestyle. We knew, obviously we'd experienced it before, we know there's a different way of doing things out there. We're doing it again. And in general, you know, the most part, yes, there are some difficulties, but the most part for us is positive.
Oh, definitely.
You know, we love
100%.
being here. Yes,
I wouldn't-
okay, it gets a bit hot, but it's still lovely to have the sun out every day.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, I'm the sunflower.
I definitely don't want to go back to the UK. That's for sure. No,
And you'll get your
family to be
moments.
here.
You know, no matter
Yeah.
what, you'll get your moments. But yeah, there are the positives far outweigh the negatives. And you know, I've always said it. Life's just too short.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know when it's going to end. Enjoy it. Just do what you can to be happy.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't want
Yeah,
this to come
this is
across
ours.
as that we're just a moany video. It's just literally the heat and the flies. For me.
Yeah, that's
the moment.
that's the basic too.
And
Everything else you can get by.
and
It's not
when
a
I
problem.
talk about not having like that structure, that's down to me. You know, I need to be disciplined and create my own structure. But there are just going to be days where you're not feeling
You
it.
can't
You're
be
not
bothered.
feeling it. You know, you're just not feeling
You
it.
just can't be
Yeah.
bothered.
And you might have more than one day like that.
We've kind of had a week of it really, where we've done bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need to do this. It's not a particularly big job, but I need to do this. Well, I've managed to do that today. That was my goal for the day.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
achieved
Done.
it.
Yeah, it's a win. It's
Yeah,
a win. Let's
absolutely.
go down the river. That's the other thing about the river. Like in the UK, I was saying yesterday, because it's like a beach now because the river has gone down a little bit.
It's dried up a lot, isn't it?
We're getting lots of beaches on there. So you can-
Sandbanks.
Yeah, sandbanks. So it is like so. I just say, oh, let's go to the beach, even though it's not the beach,
Yeah.
but closest thing. But in the UK, there would be lots of people there. You know, the kids are broken up for the holidays here in Bulgaria, and you would expect them all to be down the beach because it's just outside our village. But no, it's not. We had it all to ourselves. The cowman, the shepherd, was there with his cows on the other side of the bank, upstream. So it was all down to us and nature, basically. And when you're there, well, when we're there, I just think this is the life. This is what we came here for, you know, the rest and the relaxation and the doing things we want to do.
There are many occasions when we've just been doing something and just sat back and just relaxed and watching the nature or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just heard Nikki go, "This is the life.
This is bliss. Yeah.
This is."
I couldn't be any happier than I am in this moment. It's just, yeah, there are times, and there's lots of times.
You do that a lot.
Yeah, which I didn't do that in the UK. I didn't.
So our 12 weeks is up. This was supposed to be a little one about the 12 weeks.
3 months, yeah.
So I think we've waffled on quite enough
we've
now.
waffled on
haven't
for
we?
3 months.
Yeah,
It's gonna
absolutely.
Feel like, yeah.
Next week we'll go back to normal. Some bits we're doing. Hopefully we'll sort of share that a little bit. So a bit more of a talky one this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah, sorry.
hopefully you've got us on your TV in your lounge, and you know, it looks like we're actually there.
Yeah. Yeah. And we really thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, we really thank you
Yeah.
for supporting us.
Yeah, hope you've enjoyed our journey so far,
Yeah.
and be assured that there's going to be a lot more happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to continue. We will see what happens when the sun disappears eventually. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. So I
been
don't
good.
think there was that much in the way of negative, really. Is there?
There isn't a lot in the way of negative, and it's when you're looking at the negative, you're looking at the heat and things like that. It's something you can adapt to, and there is a way around. Yes, it gets.
Yeah, you have to work
ridiculously
around
hot.
it. You have to work with it as
But
opposed to against
we're
it. So
getting there.
give in, stop working, rest, relax, have a siesta. That's why the Bulgarians have a
and
siesta.
don't feel bad about
And
it.
don't feel bad about it. Don't beat yourself up that you didn't do as much as you wanted to do when you got up in the morning. Okay, because it's impossible.
That's just the way it is. So I would say that sums up our 12 weeks. As Nikki said, thank you for staying with us, and hopefully we'll be more
Supporting us.
good stuff to come. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing,
Take care.
keep smiling, guys.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Try to clean your face. Try to clean your face. Try to clean your face. Look at it, filthy. Yeah, beak, let's stay here. Let's stay here, okay? I don't stop trying my phone. It's not for you. It's not for you. Get out of it. Get out of it, you. What was that? That's my arm, thanks. Oh, that's a little pinch you've got there, isn't it? Rustle, rustle. Got it? You done? Oh, what are we doing? Working hard again? Yeah? You're working flat out by the look of it. Yeah.